Hello everyone. So we're going to work on making some little woven pieces. We'll see how it goes. Again, it's been a while since I made this, but we'll get there. My apologies if you hear my upstairs neighbors. They don't give a shit. Apologize for the swearing too, but that's basically what it is. They don't care. They only care about themselves. I'm just doing this as a starting point. And then we'll do one going this way as a starting point. All right. This is how I'm doing it. You don't have to do it the same as I am. I'm just doing it the way I feel fit to do it. And I just put a little dot on each one. Again, it's just a matter of figuring what works out best for you. I try to glue these down a little bit because I'm understanding that it doesn't necessarily work the way we want it to every single time. Again, this way, this way. Okay, then we fold this one. But this is how I go about doing it. Again, I think it gets very complicated very fast, but that's my personal thing with this. One. Stick it under these ones. And we move it in as far as we can. Here. Then we glue it. Because otherwise it doesn't stay where we want it. Again, this is how I go about doing this. Not everybody's going to do the same thing over the course of time. It's just something you gotta have a bit of a play with, I guess. And I have a hard time gluing this down, but I know if I don't glue it down, it don't stay where I want it to stay. So yes, this is a very thin, plain piece. Okay, we got 2 more, and we're gonna put them this way. So down. This one's a bit more grungier looking. But it's that idea of weaving, and that's where I know for a fact I struggle with weaving, but it doesn't make this project any less fun to do. You don't have to be perfect with this. Because again, it's just for fun. And these create lovely little pieces. But this is what I do with my little end strips with my journal or like scrapbooking paper that I use. This is all I do. With it is this particular way of doing it. Again, everybody has their own way of using up them pieces, but I personally like using it this way. And again, I like using up what I have. One last strip and then this side will be done. Or this part of it will be done, and then I can start going with the other part bits going. Now, I know that I want these pieces cut off a bit, so I'm going to cut them off. No point in keeping all these little pieces unless we're going to use them later, which we may. So that's why I did it that way. Now we can just slip this on, weaving it all the way through these pieces here. It's a pretty thick piece of cardstock. And again, I'm just trying to make sure I glue. It's okay if it's crooked. Ain't gonna matter much, so that's okay. I'm gonna cut these down just a little bit too, just because then I have space. And these could easily turn into little clusters or something else. We'll see. I know this is kind of boring, but at the same time, there are people out there who haven't done this before. So we've got to do some of the boring but fun little ways to use your scraps rather than always the same. And I've been collecting these for a long time, I must say. I'm kind of happy to be using them finally. Because again, I hold on to these all the time, and it feels like they're never ending because I never use them. I just keep on grabbing and using them as I grab. This should be easier to do now that they're shorter, not harder to do. But again, I just find this is very relaxing. If you ever lose your mojo, this is a great way to gain it back without too much thought. You could use a plain scrapbook piece of paper and do the same thing. You don't have to do what I'm doing. I just like keeping all my scraps. As you can tell, that's like, I love it. I love using scraps and keeping them until I can use them. I do not have a problem using my scraps as much as I can. And there are so many people like Corey Dahman, Gail Augustinelli, who's always using their scraps, and this was one of them pieces that I absolutely loved watching them do. And I know this is turning out more crooked than I expected, but that happens. We'll be able to take care of that in a little bit. And honestly, it just makes it more artistic looking, I think, having it a little crooked instead of like perfectionist looking. Because my goal is just to fill this sheet up. That's it. It may not seem that much big of a deal, but it is. It's a fun big deal, though. That one's, them are a little too big. Let's use this one. Again, I like to keep the scraps, and this is a very interesting way of doing it. And it may not come out of perfection, but you know what? As long as it comes out fun, it don't really matter. So I'm just going to glue this piece down, this piece up. All right, put that piece down and that piece down. Now the only edge that is not glued so far is this edge. And this is where I'm just going to stick my glue here and we'll draw it right across here. Push it down and then lift each individual one here and just glue it in. But again, this is my way of doing it. There are many different ways of doing this weaving aspect. This is just how I do it. All right. Now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut this right across here. Cut these. There. Now I'm going to take all these pieces and throw them away. I am not going to keep them itty bitties. Alright, now the next thing with this, I think, what would be cool. Well, let's see what size it is first. 8 1/4 by 5. Alright. So, if I want to, 2 3/4. Let's make it 3. And about right there, looks about in half. It's stuck. That happens. I have to put my blade back in though. There we go. So that sometimes happens where your blade does not work well with it. It happens. So I'm just going to cut it straight across to the best of my ability. Now wherever it isn't glued, I'm just going to take the time to glue it. This one piece wants to float up, so I'm gluing that one piece. There. Okay. close this up. And then we got to do the same thing to this other side. The pieces that are floating up need to get closed. I find this is the easiest way to just close everything up. Now, you may find the way I'm doing it is not your favorite way. Don't do it my way then. Again, I find it this is the easiest way for me to get things the way I want it. And this one piece does not want to stay, so glue that one piece. That one just needs to be held down. What's going on with this one? There. All glued up. Again, this is just the way I do it. You don't have to. My daughter is singing in the other room. It's very interesting. Listening to her sing. Sorry, the gluing process, sometimes I get a little spun by how long it takes. All right. Yeah, this piece here we can use. Now you can decide which way your tags go, but this is what I'm doing. I do not recommend hole punching and doing that course. But there, a simple tag. Let's see what else we have here. This piece here. Now, I completely forgot to add coffee dyed paper or something into the back, but you could always do that. Again, I just forgot. This is just a scrap piece, so I'm not too concerned with it being oddly shaped. Now, because I forgot to add in my coffee dyed paper right away on here, it's an easy fix. And I'm just going to show you how it's going to be an pretty easy fix. Because I'm going to take the time and just stick this here. Now, you could decide to just sew around this page too after you add some coffee dyed paper to the back. You could just sew around it instead of doing the glue way like I just did, but that is your decision how you do that. Again, you can do it that way. I just decided not to today. But this was a project that I've been planning on doing for a while. Just wanted to get it done. Like, I full on admit, I've been, like, neglecting this project for at least a few months now. Just avoiding it. It's fun when you're doing it, but when you're not doing it and you just see the stuff collecting, it's like, oh my goodness, I just want to get it done. This was an unfinished project that's been just on my mind for a while. And it's been, again, one of them projects that just never seems to ever get finished in my head, but never finished. So, I'm happy to have this done. It's kind of like the to-do box. You always have these projects to do, but yet you never do them. And I just finished up all of my last old book page tray with the butterflies, or book, I should say, with the butterflies project that I was doing. So now that's done. Yeah. So there we go. We got that one done. Or them done. Now, you could always choose to write lines in the back of these. You know, there's many ways of designing the back of these. I think today, though, I'm going to just grab this little GFK stamp and a stamp pad, the Ground Espresso. I just grabbed a random one. And that's all I'm doing. Ta-da! And there we go. We got some tags. Done. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little different than my norm, but again, these were a part of a project I just wanted to get done. I mean, I still have quite a few of these yet, but at least they're down compared to what they were, because they were just a lot. I could probably do another one and still have some left over, but I'm not going to. Not today. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video and have a great day or night. Bye!